and welcome to my new video. If you're new to my channel, hi, I'm Lex and this is Lost Falls, my Animal Crossing island. Today I'm going to be doing a more highly requested speed build. I'm going to be terraforming behind my res services. This is an example of my style. I'm just going to walk through some of my previous builds. You can find all of these in the speed build playlist on my channel if you're interested in seeing me build any of the things that I'm walking through currently. This area to the right over here was my latest speed build for stitches. So yeah, let's get started. I'm super excited. I want to make some dynamic cliffs behind res services, and I want to make sure there's an incline leading up into the neighborhood that I built just up and to the right. I'm starting by placing some round paths just so I can get an idea of where I can terraform and add plants and things while still being able to walk. That's one of my goals, is to keep this island very walkable. My residents today are very present where I need them not to be, so I feel bad about boarding this up while Gonzo is fishing, but he's leaving me no choice. Wherever I go, he follows. On either side of res services, I want to have like a little tree island. This is inspired by Melihua Crossing. I will link their Instagram in the description. I'm gonna have this same design on either side, and I'm gonna put apple trees because I want the theme for around res services to be very like red and white. I keep checking the right side of res services just to make sure I get the right dimensions as I terraform on the left. always forget, but so far, here is my map for this area. You can see, obviously, I'm terraforming around res services. While I did mirror the apple tree island on either side of res services, it's the only part of this area that's going to be symmetrical per se. On the right side, I'm going to have a river that deposits via waterfall into this island, but on the other side, on the left of res services, I'm going to have a two-tiered waterfall that leads directly into the water instead of coming from a river. So you'll see me terraform both of those over the course of the video. If you've seen my other speed builds, you're familiar with this tactic of mine. I like to place custom designs where I intend to place an incline or a bridge, just so I don't accidentally mess up and terraform or plant something where those go. So yeah, these little stumps that I've placed are just marking where I'm going to place the brick incline that I'm going to make. Since the primary focus for this speed build is resident services, I'm not going to board all of this up. I'm just going to make it where it's walkable for now so that I can reach this other area once I build the staircase. But I'm not going to spend a lot of time over here. I'm trying to focus on getting to the sides and right behind res services. Honestly, when I started this speed build, I wasn't sure exactly how I was going to shape the cliffs around res services, so here I'm kind of experimenting with like how far I want it to go out and what I want this area to look like. Rounding the cliff edges in this area is a little bit tricky, which is why I keep like terraforming water and then undoing what I've just done. I'm just trying to make sure all of the cliff edges look natural, especially since this area is going to be in my flyover. Now I'm terraforming what I mentioned earlier. I'm making room for a diagonal bridge behind res services. It's going to be brick to match the other things that I've made so far. I just think it'll add a lot of height and dynamism to this area, so yeah, let's hope it goes well. I've just shaped my water to account for a diagonal bridge, and if you are struggling to do the same, I did make a tutorial for like water terraforming to make a diagonal bridge, so yeah, just check that out on my channel if you're interested. I usually terraform 2 tiers of cliffs right behind res services to give it a lot of height, so since I haven't allotted room for that in this one, I'm going to try to add like trees to make it seem full and lush, and I'm just going to try to fill this area so that it looks natural. I've skipped to the next day now just so it's easier to walk around this area and I can go ahead and plan my incline out. So yeah, you'll notice some of the trees and bushes have already been growing, so that's why. As I mentioned, I want to make a 2-tiered waterfall on this side of res services, so I'm going to go ahead and shape the cliffs how I think they would look most aesthetic. It's going to take a little bit of trial and error, but I think it turns out pretty well. In this little stretch of land that I'm bringing out beside the tree island, I'm leaving space for a tree. I recommend that. It makes the area seem more natural if you vary where you have second tier cliffs and where you just leave it 1 tier with trees. It makes it feel more foresty and pretty. decided to try something here that I've never done on one of my islands before. I'm going to make a little hop area where you have to jump over water in order to get to the bridge. For some reason, my mind always tells me I can't do that, but you know, I'm gonna try it out. We're gonna see how it goes. Since I decided to make this area a sunken waterfall, I wasn't sure how I wanted to shape the land around it to maintain the integrity of the sunken feeling, but also reconnect it to the land around the waterfall. So I decided to put a couple of trees down here, so it's kind of like a mini sunken forest, I don't know, but it just fills up that space while allowing me to leave that area open for the water. In a way, this area is also connecting two spaces that weren't previously connected, so I do try to follow my own advice from my connecting areas speed build by incorporating some of the same furniture that I used for the little walkway between the two neighborhood inclines. That way I still have the mush parasols and everything that kind of bind these areas together. At this point, I've finished the brunt of the terraforming work that I need to do for this area, so now I'm just going to work on filling the space in an aesthetic way that matches with the overall vibe of Res Services. I decided I want to add height around the staircase by adding some trees, but I want them to be varied and not on the same row of grass, so I decided to add a little bit of cliff just so I have room for a second tree. Now I'm just filling space so that this whole speed build feels complete. If you're struggling at any point to fill empty space on your island, my go-to things for space fillers would be flowers, shrubs, any sort of small DIY like log stakes and rocks, and, trees everywhere. And here, at long last, I have completed my terraforming around resident services. I'm going to walk you through the area. I hope you enjoyed this speed build and that you like the results. And that's that. I hope you found this inspiring or helpful in some way. I can't wait to see you all in the next video, and here is my little sister Peaches with an outro.
I love you guys so much, and I'll see you in the next video.